Hi everyone, it's Adam here, one of the co-founders of Propell, and today I wanted to introduce our new feature, Rent Schedule. So a lot of users have requested this feature because they wanted to be able to track their rents easily within Propell. So the way you access the new feature is from the home screen, you can go to Manage and then Lettings. And then within this page, you'll see on each property a button that says Rent Schedule. If you select that, you can then add a new letting if you haven't got a letting currently for the property. If you do have a letting for the property, it'll let you create a rent schedule straight away. And you can then select the next rent due date. So if your tenant's next rent due date is on the 1st of the month, you can pick the 1st of the month, and that's when the rent schedule will start. You can then create the rent schedule, and here then you can see all the future payments for your tenant for the next 12 months. So every month it will refresh and it will add for the next 12 months the schedule. Now, for example, if your tenant's already in arrears or you already want to add some of the historic rent payments, you can easily do that by selecting Add Rent Due Manual Entry here, and say, for example, I want to say on the 1st of March, our tenants paid their rent. Also, let's say they haven't paid their rent, you just press due, and then you can see there's an overdue amount of rent from that date. And say if I want to say on the 1st of February, they did pay their rent, you can mark that as paid as well here. It won't show the paid rents unless you untick this checkbox to show the paid rents. But here you can see your rent schedule for the current tenant. You can end your rent schedule. So for example, if you've got a new tenant or the tenant's moving out, or if you just no longer want to track rents, you can just end the schedule there. And if you want to reconcile the rents, let's say now they paid that overdue rent, you can press reconcile rent, and it'll take you to the tasks page. You can also access the rent schedule tasks at any point from the tasks page. And all you do is press complete, and that will then mark that as completed on your rent schedule. In addition, the other feature we added was every time you create a new rent schedule for a letting and say that letting ends, you can also see your historical. Now, we don't have any on this example, but for example, if I was to end this rent schedule and say I no longer want to track rents, but then I want to look at the historical, you can see here it's still got that overdue rent and that paid rent for that previous tenancy, and it'll have the tenants' names associated to that letting. So you can also have a look at your historical rent schedules as well. We hope you find this useful, and if you've got any questions, obviously please feel free to reach out. Thanks.